Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a teen killed in a knife assault outside of school, what police say led up to the deadly incident.
And the Jennifer Dulos case 4 years later.
This light that is being shown on the Dulos case should be shown more brightly across the board.
A community still searching for closure on the anniversary of her disappearance.
Plus, street safety, how the new legislation looks to save lives.
Tracking showers and thunderstorms this evening, followed by a big change tomorrow.
And a bakery bear break-in.
Made himself comfortable to a couple of Cambros of cupcakes.
We're hearing from the employee who caught the four-legged culprit in the act.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6 tonight. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. A 15-year-old North Branford teen is now dead after police say he was stabbed to death in the chest.
This happened behind an elementary school in East Haven last night. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joining us live outside the East Haven Police Department with what we know now. Carmen.
Ben and Jen police have identified the 15-year-old as Dustin Ceccarelli. We know he was involved in a fight before he got stabbed, but as to what started the fight, that is still unknown.
Why are we coming to school today?
That is a question Santiago Baez's 8-year-old son asked today after hearing about the stabbing that killed a 15-year-old from North Branford. School resumed as normal this morning with extra patrols at East Haven schools, parks, and recreational facilities. Their presence were being noticed by parents.
School is being monitoring what's going on. There's supposed to be more cops here around the area for the rest of the day.
Police say the incident happened shortly before 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. When officers arrived, they found there was a large fight involving several people taking place in a courtyard on Tuttle Elementary School property during after-school hours. The school had no connection to the fight.
They're here, they're not really being supervised, you know, it's after school. I mean, things happen.
A father showing Fox 61 on his phone the email sent out to parents about the incident, saying an East Haven high school student was a suspect. East Haven Mayor Joe Carfora released a statement saying in part, quote, "Senseless violence like this has no place in our community. The East Haven Police Department has the full support of my office to do whatever is necessary to bring those responsible to justice." Police say there is no threat to the public and everyone involved in the fight has been accounted for. They are also working with the state's attorney's office while expecting charges to come. Now, we are still working to find out more about Ceccarelli, and police said they will release more information when they get it. Live in East Haven, Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Carmen, thank you. Turning to the weather now, and as we speak, some areas are seeing some rain. The clouds growing dark across the capital city right now. Of course, the big question is this rain going to last? But we're looking right outside our studio window here, and you can see that it definitely is not sunny anymore.
Yeah, it got dark pretty quickly here, looking ominous over Hartford. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, if we do get any rain, which it clearly looks like we're going to, this is about all we're going to get for quite a while, so we need it.
One and done with the rainfall, and that also means, because this is the only chance for rain in the forecast, you're like doing the math. Does that mean we're dry Memorial Day weekend? Yes, dry and turning warmer. I think a lot of you are going to be very happy with the forecast. But first, yes, some rain, so you don't have to water the lawn and garden out there tonight. Maybe you can get a little breather tomorrow as well. Nothing severe about this, but some dark, ominous looking clouds and a smattering of showers from Watertown up through Harwinton, Avon, Farmington, all seeing some rain. If you're in Durham, if you're in Haddam, this rain is heading in your direction, and you could get some gusty winds associated with it as well. Not damaging winds, but just enough to kind of get your attention. Brooklyn and Killingly, you guys are up at back next, and we will see this rain eventually sink farther south towards Plainfield. And we do have a heavier downpour and even the possibility for a rumble of thunder here in Ridgefield. This is in Fairfield County. This is all from a cold front. Once that front comes through, we're going to feel the winds pick up and we're going to feel those temperatures drop. And it will be noticeably cooler tomorrow. This rain will exit between 8 to about 10 p.m. It's out of here. Low temperatures tonight falling back into the 40s, and tomorrow looks beautiful, cooler, but definitely beautiful with highs in the 60s and blue skies for a change. We'll explain coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Let's get to the Capitol now. Connecticut intersections could be monitored by automatic traffic enforcement, also known as red light cameras.
The State House just advanced a bill to allow towns to install this technology. Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us in studio now to explain. Emma.
Yeah, excuse me, Jen Ben. This proposal is part of the legislature's larger focus on improving roadway safety this session. Excuse me, this bill comes as Connecticut experienced the deadliest year on its roads. In 2022, around 380 people died last year, and 80 have been killed so far in 2023.
For several years now, there's been an epidemic of roadway deaths in Connecticut.
Officials saying Connecticut's roadways are not just unsafe, but deadly.
For anyone that's traveled around Connecticut, I'm sure they have seen somebody run a red light. They have seen someone pass them on the shoulder.
One proposal to tackle this issue, red light cameras.
If you're speeding over 10 miles per hour, you'll get a ticket if this bill is passed. It's a great interim measure to end preventable road deaths in Connecticut.
Now lawmakers are advancing legislation they say will reduce crashes and make roadways safer.
We had 104 bipartisan votes in support of safer roadways in Connecticut. That speaks to the urgency of our need.
This bill would allow towns and cities to install red light and speed cameras at intersections deemed high risk. Drivers would first receive a warning, followed by a $50 fine for the next offense and $75 on subsequent violations.
It's going to be based on crash data. There actually will have to be approval of the local municipal body, approval by the state DOT of their plan.
But some legislators on both sides of the aisle take issue with this.
Now what you end up with is no interaction with the police, which is a concern, but then each town arguably having their own adjudicative process. What the House passed is really a bridge too far.
Governor Lamont saying if this measure reaches his desk, he's on board.
We tried to get that implemented, first of all, for our guys who are working on their roads and bridges to keep them safe. And that camera is a way to get people to slow down and follow the rules.
And this bill now heads to the Senate for approval. Jen, Ben.
All right, Emma, thank you. State police still working to determine exactly what led up to the death of a high school student in Burlington over the weekend. Investigators say 17-year-old Sophie Ringquist was a passenger in a pickup truck early Sunday morning. They say that she fell out of the truck. The truck was moving on Fieldview Drive. She was taken to the hospital where she did die. The driver's been identified as 18-year-old Cooper Willett of Harwington. Police are now looking to talk to anyone who may have witnessed the incident.
Well, West Haven police say they are very close to finding their Jane Doe after more than 4 decades. The woman's skeletal remains were found in the spring of 1979 along Route 34. This is a facial reconstruction of her. They think that she was in her late teens to early 20s and may have been dead for 1 to even 8 years before they found her bones. Police are using DNA to continue their search, and they say they feel they're really getting close, but are using crowdfunding to cover the rest of the case's costs. Today marks 4 years since the disappearance of New Canaan mom of 5, Jennifer Farber-Dulos. The case sparked national attention and made Connecticut one of the first states in the country to legally expand the definition of domestic violence. Coming up at 6:30, Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez has an update on where the investigation into her death stands.
Well, new tonight, a man who was arrested following an hours-long standoff in Manchester appeared in court today. Police say 57-year-old Horace Walker became agitated after a mental health professional went to check on him in his home on Alcott Street yesterday morning. When police arrived, Walker pulled out a machete. Police say they tried to de-escalate the whole situation and called in SWAT for backup. This prompted a nearby elementary school to go into a secure mode and blocked off the entire neighborhood for hours. Officers say at the time, Walker appeared to be experiencing a mental health crisis. Police say Walker has been previously convicted of armed robbery. He's now being held on $75,000 bond.
And new tonight, it's something we're all guilty of. The sweet tooth takes over and we overindulge on the good stuff like cookies or chocolate. Well, apparently bears get those cravings as well. Staff at one bakery in Avon had a close encounter this morning after they say a bear got into the place and ate some cupcakes. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro visited that shop.
A very scary morning here at Taste by Spellbound after a bear broke into this garage area where we are right now. This is the scene of the crime. Maureen Williams was here as this terrifying incident happened. Maureen, walk us through what exactly happened this morning.
So this is the garage where we hold our transit that takes our product to and from all of our different shops. And I came out of that door this morning, came to the right side of the transit to put something in it, and noticed something move out of the front left corner of the transit, and it was a bear. And the bear seemed to be turning to go back out, so I quickly shut the door on the right side of the transit and came around the back of the transit to try to shut the door on the left so he couldn't get into our product. But as soon as I did that and came around the left, the bear quickly turned and kind of bluff charged back towards me. So I had to hightail it quickly out and back into the door of the bakery and shut the door. Ultimately, the bear came far enough that he hit that refrigerator enough that it blocked that door a little bit so we couldn't get back out at first, and made himself comfortable to a couple of cambros of cupcakes and product out of our transit, which he proceeded to pull out of the garage and eat in the driveway there.
And now we're just waiting on the bear's Yelp review, right?
Yeah. We'll see if he brings any of his friends along for the next tasting. Who knows?
Easy 5 stars. Reporting in Avon this morning, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
That bakery's in a very busy area, too. These bears are getting more brazen, Angelo. Thank you. Some sad news to report here. The queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, has died at the age of 83 years old. Turner passing away in her home in Switzerland, reportedly after battling a long illness. Turner, best known for her classics like River Deep, Mountain High, and What's Love Got to Do with It. Turner, survived by her husband, Erwin Bach, her partner of over 30 years, and 2 of Ike's sons that she adopted. She had 2 sons of her own, Craig and Ronnie, both of whom passed away in recent years. She will be definitely missed.
She's a legend.